What's going on, family? Welcome back to the Speakeasy. Listen, we changed things up. We've changed things up. As you see my brother right here. We got my brother Josh in the building. Let's go to the other couch. We got my brothers Mike, Harris, and Tyler.
What's going on? What's going on?
In the building. Y'all, we have changed up the Speakeasy. Bring them close. Listen, we have changed it up, man. The reason why I really wanted to start the Speakeasy was to talk about the importance of community, the people that you do life with, the people that you rock with.
Right.
And we had some great conversations. And a couple of these guys, Josh, Mike, you've actually seen on the podcast already. So you know a little bit about their story. Yeah. But I was like, the Speakeasy doesn't feel right unless I bring in my community. And so from here on out, you might see you're going to see a couple of interviews, one-on-one interviews here and there. But I brought my brothers with me.
We're here.
And so, you guys kind of want to introduce yourself? Just, you know what I'm saying? I just introduced you, but I don't know if you want to say your own names. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we got to get used to this. We got, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I'm Ant.
I'm Josh, J. Hard from the block. What's
There we go.
I'm Tyler Kim.
Yeah, I'm Mike.
You know, we're all in very similar seasons of life. We all met each other at different stages in our lives.
Yeah.
But we're all married.
Right.
We all, three of us have children. And Tyler, you'll be looking to have children soon.
Soon.
You know, we don't know when that is, but soon. And we're all homeowners. We're all, you know what I'm saying? We're all we're at a place in our lives where we're building our lives.
Right.
But one of the conversations I wanted to have first, because I think it makes sense, let's talk about marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
Yo, I just turned 30. In December. And I'm almost 4 years in. How long? How long have you been married, Josh?
Shoot. Yeah, gonna be 4 years in June. Yeah.
4 years in June.
Yeah.
Josh is younger than me, but he got married before me.
Like, was it a few months?
It was a couple months.
Just a couple months.
Months.
Yeah.
He got married in June. I got married in August. Tyler, how long?
It's gonna be 5 years in October.
5 years in October.
Yeah, man.
OBO, Mizzy.
Yeah, I'll be 5 years in August.
5 years. Okay, so 5 years,
Yo, that's
5
4
years.
years. I did not think
Thinking
about
about
this.
that. Thinking
I
about
promise
that
you this was not on
wild.
purpose.
5 years, 2 months apart. 4 years, 2 months apart. That's crazy.
Oh,
Wow, that's weird.
That's wild.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's
I didn't
wild,
think
bro.
about that.
I didn't
That's
think
We
about
never
crazy.
even thought of that, bro. We never
Yo,
even
that
knew
was.
that happened.
I promise you,
It's
that's
a
not
live
how
reactions.
This is our.
It's a live reaction.
This is a live reaction to this newfound truth. Wow.
Yeah.
Yo. Okay. Let's start with Mike.
Okay.
Bro, how'd you find your wife?
So I think it's how did my wife find me?
Oh.
Yeah. You know,
Okay.
She can
Alright.
attest to this though. She can attest to this. But no, I was in college, man, my senior year. So her sister went to Fayetteville State. That's why I went to school. Shout out to the Broncos. I was a mentor over this summer bridge program where, young students would enroll into college early, right? You know, where you can kind of get, I believe it was 6 credits. You take 2 classes and, you kind of get a start ahead, right? Which is the cheer program, which was great. I was a part of it. But me and my boy Lauren at the time, we was directing traffic outside. And she tells the story better than me, but she said she saw us both. Lauren is a handsome guy himself. I'm a handsome guy myself. She said she wanted the dark skinned one. So she ended up seeing me. Her sister did some, investigative background on me. She said, girl, he loved his mama, God, and Drake. So she was like, yeah, he's a good one. So
Okay.
9 years later now. It's just
Wow.
crazy to think about. We that's my baby, my wife, the mother of my child.
Wow.
And that's kind of
She bagged you.
She bagged me, man. She bagged me.
Okay, but how did she how'd that happen? How'd the first conversation happen?
So the first conversation happened. Her sister, we was in the calf at one point eating lunch, and sister was like, "Hey, my sister want to talk to you."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Sure, all right." I'm in my prime at this time. I'm like, "Shoot, I can have me some options." I ain't mind it. I'm like, "Shoot, let me talk to her then." Talk to her. She was, I forget how the conversation went, but then, so she's from Greensboro, so she would pull up on me. Like she would just pull up to Fayetteville, and so the first conversation happened. Then we exchanged contact information, text, talk. Then she was like, "Yo, I'm gonna pull up," because like she would come see her sister, but she was also coming to see me.
Yeah.
Then that just started happening, and then we started dating, and the rest is history. Like that's just this is kind of how it happened. It was, I mean, obviously I was dating other girls at the time. Oh, I don't want to say dating, but I was single.
Yeah.
My sole focus just started going directly to her.
She was your main, but then she became your wife. Oh, that sounds terrible to say. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna cut
Listen,
it.
we're probably not gonna cut it. But
no.
You're in college, bro.
Yeah, I'm in college, just dating, like just vibing. But like no, like she, like that was like this was like this like she exposed me to what a woman was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Exposed me to what a woman was, man. So like that just gradually started happening, man. So yeah.
We'll get into the how you knew. We'll get into the how you knew.
Okay.
But I'm gonna start pretending like I don't already know these stories. So
Okay.
I'm definitely in my interview bag right now.
Yeah.
But okay, go ahead. Who we going? Let's go, Josh.
Yeah, let's just go here.
Josh.
Let's just go here.
How'd you meet?
Basically, our story is a little interesting. So basically, as you know, we had some friends who we had met through Twitter. Right, we had a church conference
That was a whole
back
thing.
then, flood conference, and those friends they were from Tennessee. They ended up coming down to the flood conference that we were having. We hit it off real well. We had a great time. The friends basically, there was girls and guys in the group, right? So the girl side of the group, we was all at lunch one day after the conference had ended. And I was just BSing, just talking junk. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about to find my wife, all that good stuff, right? And I literally wasn't really looking because I had just got out of a relationship like 5 or 6 months prior. And so I was really chilling. They was just like, "Yo, what's your type?" I was like, "Yo, just beautiful, baddest in the room," you know what I mean? And it was like a light bulb like shined above their head. Like Kara and Amia, shout out to y'all. They were just like, they looked at each other like it was a TV show scene. Like they were just like, "Bree." And I was like, "Who Bree?" So they had pulled her up on Twitter. So I actually heard Calvin, my dog Calvin, he was just like, "Yo, I follow her on Twitter." So he pulled her up on Twitter. And so pulled her up. They showed me her. I was just like, hey, she looked smooth. The picture they showed me, she was wearing like some knockoff shoes. So like it kind of like turned me off.
Don't do your wife like that, right?
I'm just saying.
You knew Josh, you knew that.
What kind of knockoff shoes were they?
Bro, they were like some fake Balenciaga, like the sock joints. What those called? The triple S's? No, those not
the
triple
runners.
S's.
The runners.
Yeah, the runners.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
the runners,
maybe,
bro.
okay.
So yeah, she had those, and I mean, like I could tell she was beautiful. Like I could tell she was pretty. It was just a bad picture. She had a hat on. I'm just like, what are y'all doing? So basically, I had remembered that Calvin said that he followed her. So I had, did research in my own time afterwards. Went on Twitter. Looked her up, saw more photos, and I was like, "Oh wow, like this girl is really like that, right?" So I had started this hashtag on Twitter. It was called like Find Christian Twitter.
You did do that.
Yeah, bro. I started
You
that
did
hashtag.
start that hashtag.
Showed
that
it.
was the whole thing for a minute.
Bro, in fact, and I had
It was the whole
heartburn
thing.
because nobody was participating for like the first hour. But then my bro Keenan posted, and then it started grabbing traction, right? And I think I hit the chat, and I was like, "Bro, y'all join the hashtag real quick, because I can't be the only one." And so basically, I saw her tweet. I went to her page, right? I wasn't following her yet. I saw her tweet like, "Oh, I might need to join this Find Christian Twitter thing." So that let me know, like, okay, you noticing like this hashtag that I started, like you on my page too, right? So
Yeah.
Long story short, she posts on it, she getting attention and all that good stuff. And so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give it a day, and then I'm gonna reach out to her via DM. Mind you, she live in Tennessee, so this was gonna be a long distance thing. I already knew in the top of my mind. And so I ended up hitting her up, just letting her know, like, I think the first time I hit her up, it was honestly like really late. It was kind of wild. It was like at like 2 a.m. I was just like,
booty call hours for the first message is crazy.
Yeah, it's OD. But I was like, shouldn't you be like sleep? Because she had tweeted something. So I was like, shouldn't you be like getting ready for church? You know what I mean? Like, shouldn't you be sleep for church? And she was just like, shouldn't you?
That's how you slid?
Yeah. And
This
I was
is
like,
really bad.
and I was like, shouldn't
Okay.
you? You know what I mean? She said, shouldn't you? And I
At
was
2
just like,
a.m.
At 2 a.m., bro. So she responded, hey, Call it what you want to call it.
Yeah.
It worked out.
So basically, yeah, she responded there. That just kind of was like the icebreaker. So the next day after church and everything, I shot her a message, just let her know I thought she was beautiful and I really wanted to get to know her. I heard great things about her. And so I got her number. As soon as I got her number, I texted her. I was just like, yo, we got a FaceTime date at 8 p.m. You know what I mean? So she was like, okay. You know what I mean? Real forward, real front with it. So we got on FaceTime. I knew she was rocking with me. You know what I mean? And like, I knew I was making her laugh. And as soon as you start making a girl laugh, you know you got her in the bag for real, for real. So that's pretty much what happened. Like, you know, I got her laughing. And then, you know, of course, we were long distance for like a year. She had started like coming down to conferences and things for the church. Because those people who came to the conference from Tennessee, they ended up moving here. So literally all her friends pretty much moved here. So she had a reason to come here anyway, right? So she started coming to conferences. We started seeing each other. And the first time I seen her in person, it was a whole different story. Like over the phone and Instagram, all that ain't do her justice for real. So
you were
in person. And bro, I mean, her personality, who she was, and just like, you know, of course,
what was the first date when we visited Tennessee?
Nah. The first date was at Motorco. I think we went to go see the Walls Group.
Oh, okay.
And that was when I first seen her in person. And we went to the rooftop and everything. Remember y'all singing on the rooftop at the Durham Hotel?
Oh, yeah.
So,
that was a lot.
Bro,
Singing on the rooftop.
That's how we met,
just
bro.
Move on from that part of the conversation.
That's how we met, bro. Long story short.
No, but I remember that, boy. But I remember, bro, we were supposed to...
Tyler wasn't there, unfortunately.
Tyler wasn't there, unfortunately. This is a sore spot for Tyler, but we're going to move on. But what? No, okay, moving on. All right, listen. No, because I remember we visited Tennessee, and we were supposed to have this... We were supposed to all hang out or whatever. Oh. And Josh was like, oh, I'm going to go see Bree, you know what I'm saying, for a minute. And we were like, all right, cool. We had all these plans of what we're going to do. Bro, we ain't see Josh till like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. It was insane. And bro, we were low-key pissed. But like in retrospect.
They were high-key pissed.
Okay, let's talk. Yeah, we were like, what's wrong, bro? Like, because we hadn't necessarily taken the relationship as serious as he was. Obviously, we can't feel what he's feeling. We don't know what he is in the relationship. Was that pause?
I didn't say nothing.
No, you're ready to pause me. All right. But regardless, anyway, he was in love. Hey, it worked out. He's married with a whole child now.
Yeah, bro.
Yo,
hey,
amazing.
worked out for me.
In retrospect, you're right. You should have spent as much time with her. You should have been, but you know what? You should have been like, yeah, nah, bro. I'm just gonna spend time with her today.
Y'all would have been pissed at that too, bro. But
maybe, who knows? But it was,
y'all would have been like, bro, what?
Regardless,
like Josh, there you go, selfish Josh again. Like, there we go.
Regardless, great decision.
Yeah,
regardless, great decision. All right,
for sure.
All right, Ty, how'd you meet your wife, brother?
Yeah, I met my wife in high school in Brockton, Massachusetts. We went to Brockton High, and we were in the same building together. Brockton High, you're housed in 4 different buildings, and we were in the same building. And I saw her in the cafeteria, and I was just like, dang, like, I want to talk to that girl bad. So I tried to talk to her, and like during that time, I was like really into her, but she like was not really into me, and I kind of got the drift. So we stopped talking for like 4 years. We went our separate ways.
That's a long time.
Yeah. We stopped talking for like 4 years. She went to a different college. I went to a different college, but we still followed each other on Instagram. So I was still like seeing her life. She was seeing mine. And one day she posted a photo of herself in Mexico on a family trip on the beach in a bikini. Huh. And it did something to me.
Let's just be honest.
It did something to me.
Honest.
Yeah.
And so I was at a point in my life where, you know, she kind of like made it clear she wasn't really into me, but it had been 4 years. And I kind of had a new confidence in who I was and the kind of man that I wanted to be. And so I said to myself, I'm going to respond to this picture. I'm going to message her. And if she doesn't want to talk to me, her loss, not mine.
Like Dre said.
Her loss, not mine. She's the one making the mistake.
What Dre said? Oh, her loss, yeah. Sorry.
And so I responded, and I started
Somebody help him, bro.
I just made like a real small effort, and I just put a heart eye emoji, and she actually responded and said, "Thanks, Ty." And we had a small conversation.
Thanks, Ty's dry.
Hey, I'm sorry. So you sent the heart. She said, thanks, Ty. So what did you say after that?
After she said thanks, Ty?
Yeah.
I asked her how she's been. We had a quick conversation and exchanged a few small talk words to each other. And then eventually I ended it with something like, I know it's been a while since we talked and you're living your own life and I'm living mine, but I've always been fond of you and I'd love to connect.
You say fond of you.
I've always been fond of you and I'd love to connect again at some time if you'd be down.
Very gentleman of you.
And she was like, yeah. So we went on a date and she really liked me then. And we went on a second date
You
and a
said
third
you told her
date.
you loved her on that first date.
No. Wait, all right.
Ty, just imagine if you had this fade like you got now back then, boy. She wouldn't even took that 4-year hiatus from you, would she? She wouldn't even took that hiatus from you, boy. She would have been like, I want you right now.
Hey, bro. The fade do it.
That is
fade,
crazy.
hey.
That is crazy.
Did you have like the bucket?
No. I had a fade, but I had more of like a.
You had your original.
It was a
hairstyle.
fade, but it was how my hair was when I moved here.
Yeah.
I had a fade.
It was kind of
I had
like
a fade.
it was like rad.
It just wasn't like this
Yeah,
on top. Yeah.
It was
So
Vegeta joint.
Vegeta joint is
Vegeta.
crazy.
that is crazy.
Yeah.
But
Vegeta's crazy.
we went on a few dates, and then I made her my girl. And I was in a point in my life where, when I was living in Massachusetts, I just didn't really have like people in my life that I could look up to around me. Brian had moved to Denver, and I didn't really feel connected to the church I was going to. And so I reconnected with Manny, and he was convincing me to move here. And so, I made the conscious decision to move here because it was just better for me and my overall development.
Yeah.
So I had to have a conversation with her, and I basically just had to tell her, like, I know it would be long distance, but I'm a better boyfriend to you in North Carolina than I am for you here.
Ooh.
Because I'm not growing here. And so
You were a guy. You were a great guy.
I'd hope I'm a guy. But yeah, I moved. And we actually really didn't know when we were going to see each other again because I was broke.
And long distance.
And long distance. I can't afford a flight that often. She can't afford a flight that often. So we really didn't know when we were going to see each other again. But I loved that girl. And so we made a conscious decision that we were going to make it work. And little did I know, she had been working and her butt off and saving all the money that she was making so that she could move here.
Wow.
Wow.
And she found,
wow.
when she visited, she got connected to Jesse and Sarah, who agreed with her that, like, if she moves here, she can stay with them in their spare room. And so she told me one day that she was going to move here. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, wherever you go, I go.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
I was
wow.
like, wait a minute.
I was like, wait.
To God be the
Wait.
glory.
And so that's how I knew she was the one.
Hey, we're not even at that part of the conversation yet.
I didn't even notice this is this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hey, because I was actually gonna go into that, and I think I prefaced it. I was gonna go there, but
Yeah.
I'll share how I met my wife. There's a whole episode on how I met my wife, so I don't have to say. Go watch the episode. But I met my wife. I was leasing her an apartment.
Facts. Hold on, bro. Let me just get you right real quick. Right.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know, but
I appreciate that. See, real friends will see you looking crazy and fix it.
facts.
That's
My
true.
God, that's
true.
good. Get you got some real friends.
Amen.
All right. When I met my wife, I was leasing her an apartment. We were working at the same property. Me and Tyler working at the same property, and we both saw Kiara walk in, and I was like, oh, she's cute. Anyway, but I toured her apartment, and I had a girlfriend at the time. And that was on. It's like, how you're dating somebody, y'all have broken up and y'all got back together, got back together, and then this last time y'all got back together, it's not really gonna last, but it's just lasting as long as you are, as long as it lasts.
That sounds terrible. That sounds terrible.
It's just like you get back together because of comfort, and you don't. Anyway, so we broke up soon after. And Kiera and I, we connected on social media, and we were just real cool friends for a while. And I was like, I kind of want to take this girl out. And so we hung out, we went on our first date, And it was a good time. We had a blast.
Yeah.
Okay, we had a good time.
Yeah.
And we went on a few, female dates, and she was just like, one day I told her I liked her, and I was like, yo, like, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's I want to take you more seriously, like really be intentional about our relationship. And she was just like, yeah, let's be friends. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. You bought back. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't act like you the only option around here, right? And so, we stayed friends, and I dated around, and she didn't date around, and but we still hung out every now and then. We always had a blast. Like, that was my dog. Like, that was my friend. And I did little romantic things here and there. So I brought her some flowers, put some chocolates all over her door, Valentine's Day. Like, we just had fun. I ended up having fun with it. It wasn't about winning her. It was just like, I like her the most out of anyone else I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's Valentine's Day. Like, let's make a thing of it. And so we just had a good time, and we just became friends. But by the time, you know what I'm saying, she wanted, and y'all know the story if you look at the episode, by the time she wanted to take things seriously, because she talked to Tyler, okay? She talked to Tyler about her feelings, and at this time we were friends, a little bit of benefits. We were friends, and we were having a good time.
You were not friends at the time.
Her and I?
You were not rocking with her at the time.
When she talked
to me? Oh yeah, you wanted nothing to do with her.
No, I wanted a lot to do with her. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I wanted a lot to do with her.
You just didn't really want to talk to her.
I didn't want a serious thing.
Yeah.
And you told her that she should tell me about her serious feelings.
Yeah.
And then she told me about her serious feelings. And I'm like, why would you, as my friend, tell her?
Because I'm actually a good friend.
Yeah, whatever, man.
And I saw what this could be.
At the time, I didn't want a good
Wisdom
friend.
is foresight.
At the time, I didn't want a good friend. I wanted you to be like, yo, chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all have a good thing going. Because she just wanted to be friends, and now she don't want to be just friends.
You wanted Tyler to tell her, yo, chill. Like, yo, you
Now, Tyler was a good
ridiculous.
friend. And then she came up to me and she told me her feelings or whatever, and I was not hearing it. Nope, no chance. Wasn't hearing it. There was another girl that I was a little bit more serious, kind of trying to be serious with, just because that's where the relationship kind of was. And pretty much, I had a housewarming. I bought my first crib. And I felt like buying my first crib at 25 was a huge deal. It is a huge deal.
It is a big
If you
deal.
bought
Come on.
I'm saying it's a huge deal, and it was one of the biggest moments of my life. And I invited Kiera because that's my dog. Again, like all the physical aside, like that was my friend. So I invited her. I also invited the girl that I was talking to at the time. I didn't think that was messy back then, but maybe it was messy in retrospect. But I invited them both. I had a speaking engagement right before I went to my housewarming, so I was a little late. There was mad people at my house when I showed up in the house.
Yeah.
And the girl who I was talking to was like, yeah, I'm not going to make it because I got to go to, my friends are in town. I think G-Ho was happening or something like that the next day, and she just couldn't make it because her friends in town. She couldn't entertain her friends. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like, you're going to miss one of the biggest days of my life. And Kiera showed up, and she brought a gift box of all my favorite things. It was really thoughtful and beautiful. And then at the time, she had talked to all y'all about me and her feelings and all the things. And then you guys all pretty much jumped me and said that
She was doing the right kind of networking.
Yeah, she was doing the right kind of networking.
She was.
Sure.
Wow.
Sure.
She was smart.
That's a word for somebody out there. Do the right kind of networking.
She was smart.
Facts.
She knew what she wanted, and she
Facts.
knew what she had to do to get it.
in the corporate life and in real life. You're trying to get
yeah.
somebody to do the right kind of
100%.
networking. Oh, that's
100%.
good.
Yeah.
100%.
Because Zach did the right kind of networking.
Yeah.
No, she
She
did for
talked
sure.
to her sister who knew you, who was in the same program.
Yeah.
Hey, you want a man? You want a girl? Do the right kind of
Network.
networking. All right, hey,
Network.
moving on. So they all talked to me about how I should be with her, and I did. I ended up making the right decision. And she's my wife today and the mother of my child.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Yeah, man.
So, Mike, how did you know? How did you know Zach was it?
Yeah.
And I'm talking marriage. Girlfriend's easy.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, bro, I was 21 at the time, but looking back on it now, man, it's real simple for me actually, man. Like, Zach made me feel like home. Whenever somebody asks me that question, home is what always comes up to me. I grew up very family oriented, man. From my mom, just so loving and caring, to like my brothers and my dad, just a tight knit family where home was a place that always warmed our heart. Even to this day, we love being at our house. Like we love home. But Zach embodied every single quality, you know, that my mom would kind of, that I would see, right? I know it's not good to compare that, but it's just like,
No.
knowing, I mean.
It is.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, I know some people or some women have freaks on that, but the way Zach was raised, right? Obviously, we was raised different, but at the end of the day, she was raised to make, like, she makes me feel like what home should feel like. A safe place, a place that you could be authentic, that you could be yourself, and just be who you are. So, as time went on, I started realizing that. I mean, obviously, you know, it took some time, but like it was only a matter of time for I'm like, yeah, like I'm actually thinking marriage. Obviously, like, you know, I started thinking about, well, I mean, I started being around other people that I seen young, man. I'm like, oh, so this is like this is actually what like a next step is for me.
Yeah.
But also Zach too is a, you know, type of woman. You know, if what you bring to the table, she also made it known, didn't put pressure on me, but she made it known she ain't gonna just be no girlfriend.
Right.
So it's just like, it's like you got to look at yourself internally and be like, nigga, you got to get it together. So I'm like, so I'm like, all right, but you know, that's kind of how it transpired for me, and let me know she was gonna be my wife.
I think it's really important to point out three pieces that you landed on here, right? That you pointed out. One, it took you conceptualizing what marriage actually looks like at your age. Like, I was starting to be around people who are actually married. You're like, oh, this might be the next step for me. And so then you were able to see yourself actually doing it. And then two, Zach set a standard.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
I'm not a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm a wife.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be a wife.
Right.
And everything that she showed you up until your conceptualization and her setting her standard was she was always a home for me.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so not only you want to be a wife, but you've been a wife.
Yep.
Yeah.
And everything that I conceptualized around what my life looks like married, you look like.
Yeah.
You really hit the nail on the head. Even like the first point, it's just like, I mean, I grew up knowing what my mom and dad was always married. Like, like they never divorced or nothing like that. I mean, rest in peace, my mom, of course, but like that's kind of what happened with that. My uncle and aunt, like I grew up seeing marriage, right? Like, so like I knew what marriage was. Yeah. But you know, growing up, like I never really I never thought I would get married at 25. I'm not saying that's not wrong, but like I never really thought about marriage before,
Right.
Because I never really. I mean, I had like one real relationship prior to Zach, but nothing really like serious to even make me feel like, damn, like I want to really give you my all. Right. But then, you know, to that point, that's what happened. And Zach, like it was a whole new, you know, paradigm of thinking, bro. It's just like, oh wow, like damn, I think this really might start getting there. So I had to start getting better for myself. Just you know, realizing the things I had to fix up with myself. So that's kind of what happened, man. And it's we here now.
April 14th,
April 14th, we got engaged.
Amen.
August 31st, 2019, we got married. May 31st of 2023, had my first child. I love you, boo. Yeah, so it's, you know, man. Shout out Z.
Huge.
You know, man, that's God is good, man. God is good.
You're in your second home since then.
Second home since then. And it's actually crazy, man. We talked and what was said was, damn, like a woman can really help you level up. Obviously, us as men, like we know we got to carry the load. We got to lead. We got to do things to build our family and wealth. But having the right woman, the right partnership, that is a damn cheat code.
Woo.
Yeah, man.
It is a cheat code. So we talked about that, man. And I'm just thankful for, you know, all of the things that she's done for me, that she's doing for me. Just who she is. So yeah, man. It's amazing.
That's a real.
That is. We'll get into that. That's
perfect.
Go ahead. Yeah. Tyler, how did you know? You already got into it a little bit.
So there were always signs that she could be the one.
Yeah.
But up until that point of what I had just explained, it was never like a wow, she is the one. But there were signs. One of the things that I always wanted in a girl that I was dating was that if your father's in your life, that you have a good relationship with him. And her dad is like her best friend, and has been able to help her realize what kind of man she deserves. And so that was a huge green flag for me. And also, ever since I started dating her, like, he's treated me like very well, always treated me like a son. And so that was a huge blessing. It was always really important to me that you don't just know how to put on for me, but I don't want to get too churchy, but you don't just know how to put on for me, you genuinely know how to pray for me. Wow. Because I cannot be with a woman who, when I'm going through it, the only thing she knows is how to touch me sexually. But she doesn't know how to actually lay hands on me and genuinely pray for me and think about me and talk to God on my behalf. And so my relationship with her was really amazing from the beginning, because I was in a point in my life where I was really, really taking my walk with God seriously, and I still am. And so was she. And that was really difficult for me to find at the time.
I'm telling you.
Very difficult. It's hard to find now. And so, you know, she always had a serious relationship with God ever since I had met her. But yeah, when she decided like she was going to move here, because she was like, wherever you go, I go, I was like, I felt hella pressure. Because I was like, wow, now I need to marry you.
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, I didn't know it was going to be this quick, but I need to marry you. And so I had to have a conversation with Pop, Pastor Andy, for anybody who doesn't know, Pop. And so, I mean, like, my biggest concern was that at the time, I didn't make enough money, because I just felt this pressure of like, I need to provide for like a whole nother person that I'm responsible for. And he was telling me, you know, you're always gonna realize you can get more money.
I know.
You're gonna get to the next level that you were trying to get to, and then that becomes the new normal. And then you realize there's more money on top of that. And there's more money on top of that.
And he wasn't lying.
He was not lying.
He was not lying at all.
And so
because we won't make it nothing.
Oh my God.
We won't make it nothing back then.
And we would get those little tiny commission checks.
And we thought we were doing it.
Y'all better be thankful for what y'all got.
Hey, for sure. And we were. Because we thought we were okay.
Yeah.
We were okay.
And now we're actually making money, and we're still kind of like,
there's more.
It's another level on top of what he was saying. So
there's more.
Yeah.
And the thing that he was saying, because I was in the headspace of like, well, let me just like level up a little bit more financially, get a house, all this and that. And he basically asked me like, do you want a girl that wants to be with you after you've made all the money?
That's it.
Or do you want to be with a girl who wants to be with you for you?
That's good.
When you have nothing.
That's good.
And so I started saving up for a ring, putting money aside. And I proposed to her on my birthday. It was like the greatest birthday present
It's like
ever.
the Boston Library, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was where our first date was.
Oh,
I took her to our first date.
That's good.
And I went in, man. I got this. I found this place that does. This guy, he does like hand calligraphy. He does stuff by hand. It looks like this old, really fancy writing from like hundreds of years ago. And so I did like a love note, and I made him like write out the love note, put it in a picture frame. He did the border, all that. And I got a friend of mine who was a photographer, and he went there early. And he placed it in a box on the ground in the middle of the exhibit. And we walked in, and there was a box on the ground, and she opened it, and it was like the coolest experience.
You very romantic, huh?
Oh yeah. For her, I am.
If y'all ever see his Instagram, don't let him fool y'all.
Exactly.
Don't let him fool y'all.
That's a great point. That's a great
Don't
point.
let him fool y'all.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
If you see, for those who think they know Tyler, I'm here to tell you, this is actually Tyler.
Facts.
Okay. He is a softie when it comes
You a softie,
to
man. You a softie.
Yasmina
I'm a softie
Kim.
for my wife, but it's because she's the woman for me.
Oh man.
Facts.
No.
And the people around him, for real.
Yeah.
Like,
For
his friends,
real?
down
Oh
the
yeah,
line.
you know.
Oh
You a
yeah.
softie for me too?
Oh, that's
Relax.
crazy.
Is that a question
That
you want
is
answered?
crazy.
I'm trolling.
That's crazy.
Relax. But no, Tyler.
I mean, I definitely am soft around you for sure.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Hey, whoa.
Okay,
Yo,
this
relax,
is insane.
I'm soft.
Are we
Hey,
cutting
relax,
this
relax.
podcast?
Yeah.
This is insane.
Hey,
All
no.
right.
Yeah, that
All right.
ain't-
How did you know Bree was the one? This is oh my god.
And, all right, go
Okay.
ahead.
What no? What you gonna say?
No, Tyler. What I was gonna say is, I think that was. I mean, I think it speaks volumes to you as a person, though, because if her father was like cool with her going, like leaving her like normal stomping grounds and moving here to you, like that speaks volumes of who you was too. I just wanted to point that out. I thought that was good. So,
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Tyler, man. Shout out to Tyler, my Asian brother. Hey, man. Hey.
He's Asian and white.
Yeah, so basically
You have to-
Asian
you
and white.
give
Asian
credit to
and
both
white.
sides of who he
Asian
is.
and white, my dog.
His
Anyway,
mom is like white.
His mom is like white,
Caucasian,
like
white.
Indiana white.
Yeah, Indiana
Facts.
white.
Facts.
We love all of our white watchers.
She's white and she's Native American.
Hey,
she's
man.
not just white, but you know
how
my
much,
mother.
How much Native American is your mom?
I don't know
So
how much. I don't know how much
if
white
somebody
she
say
is.
your mom, what are they gonna say?
They gonna look at her and think she white.
Oh my
Okay,
god!
then,
There's
Tyler.
Brazilian people that you're gonna look at and think are white. There's Spanish people that you're gonna look at and think are white.
I'm here to tell you.
Nah, I could tell.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
person
Hey, it's
got
okay,
little-
man.
Hey.
We love our white people.
I
man.
appreciate it.
And we love your mom.
That
Yeah.
ain't no
Mom is
knock.
white.
That ain't no knock.
Yeah.
All I'm saying.
She's coming to visit, by the way, soon. You are all invited
Hey
over.
man, let's do
We're
that.
possibly invited.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Right.
moving on.
But yeah, so how I knew Bree was the one, man. Honestly, so there were definitely signs that I saw. So honestly, in my mind, I already had a plan. So like my plan in my mind was like, okay, you know, we started talking in May of 2018. I was like, we started dating September of 2018, and I was just like, okay, like we are gonna be long distance, I know, for a substantial amount of time. Like, but if she moves here next year, I'm gonna give it 90 days, like see if I really like her, like being around her every day, you know, and like our conversation's still good and we just have fun and we have a good time like together. And I was just like, after those 90 days, if I feel like, yo, all of this lines up, like I'm gonna marry this girl, right? And I already had my standard. Like I wouldn't have even like made her my girlfriend if I didn't think she meet the standards of like what I really wanted in a woman, right? So that was already checking the boxes. I remember there were moments like where I was so stressed out because at this time I was working, doing school, and we were doing heavy in ministry, right? So it was like school was stressful. I remember there were times where she literally would like do my papers for me. You know what I mean? Like
My
she
God.
would write my papers. Like
Look at you.
You're,
and, like,
you're a cheater?
Huh?
You cheat on your schoolwork?
I sure did.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And what they gonna do to me? So basically,
Wow.
she would write my papers. She would do assignments for me. Like she would just do things to like help me not be stressed, right? And like that immediately.
I kind of got a little bit of an attitude about this because you remember Josh was to be like, "Oh, bro, I do all my work."
Oh my God.
Remember that?
Oh my God.
Remember
Wait,
that?
relax.
Josh would
capping or
act
what?
like,
And
Are you
Manny
capping?
flamed us.
bro, oh for sure.
And you just a cheater the
he
whole
was
time.
cheating the entire. He told us nothing.
I'm
he
sorry,
told
you
us
niggas didn't
nothing.
take advantage of
That's
your resources.
crazy.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Man.
At the end of the day,
Now
I
you
did
know.
most of my work though. She
I
just
don't-
did the work that
yeah.
like I was really.
I don't
like,
have to believe
I
that.
had to turn that in by midnight, and I'm still at work. But
That'd be great.
anyways.
Yeah, well,
Anyways, so basically she would just do things to relieve like pressure off of me, right? And I was like, that immediately let me know like she was just really my helper. Like she really was just willing to help me. And like if I was like having a bad day, if I was down, she was really willing to like pick me up.
Right.
And of course she was taking her relationship with God serious and everything too. And she was telling me like, she even told me like she just feel like God loves her because I'm in her life, you know? And so she told me that, and I was just like, wow, you know, like, I honestly, I mean, I'm going to try to be, I'm a good dude by nature, but it was just like, I was just like, when she said that, it was just like really touched me, and I was just like, yo, okay. So, long story short, she ended up she got an opportunity to take an internship for her last semester of school. And she was planning to do that internship in North Carolina. Bro, literally, like the last 2 or 3 days, bro, she literally like secured an internship here. Like, and she was able to move to North Carolina. So she moved to North Carolina, and she was staying with somebody who was really a piece of crap for like a week. And like, yeah, so basically we moved all her stuff, and she like moved into like my house, like where I was staying with my parents at the time. Now, if anybody know anything about my parents, they ain't letting no girl stay with me. It was like, that's how much they loved and trusted her and us that like, yo, she can come stay with me and like it will be fine. Like everything will be great.
You shacking?
And great it was.
You were shacking?
So no, we won't shacking.
Yeah,
But
shacking up at your
we won't
parents' house?
shacking. We won't shacking. But I respected my parents' house for sure. So basically, she moved in. And so basically, we was basically living together, right? Like she was with me for that whole time. And so that was July she moved here. I bought a ring, oddly enough, it was like on Halloween. Like it was just a slow day at the mall. I was just like, let me just go get this ring. So I went to the mall, went to Zales. One of my bros I went to high school with, he was working there, so he gave me like a hookup on the ring and everything, bro. So I bought the ring and I was just like, okay. Her family lives in different places. Like her dad lives in Memphis. Her mom lives in New York. I was like, the only place where everybody's really going to be able to get together in one place is like when she graduates, which was in December. So December came and I was just like, yo, I had a whole plan to like engage her. Had already got her mom and her dad's blessing. And yeah, bro, she graduated. And like after the graduation, I like set it up to where like she felt like she was getting like a surprise like graduation photo shoot because she didn't have a photo shoot or nothing for her graduation. Mm-hmm. I took her photos initially for like her graduation. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get you a graduation shoot with like a real photographer. She took some photos by herself and then she was taking one photo. While she was taking that photo, she couldn't see me, but I like had got on one knee, had the ring, and then the photographer was like, all right, let me just take one more. She turned around, see me on one knee.
Boom.
And like, I said everything I had to say, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you my shawty for real? Like, I really want you. And
You
yeah,
my shawty
bro.
for real type shit.
Type shit. Nah, for real though. But yeah, bro, I let her know everything, bro. And we got engaged right then and there. And yeah, bro.
What's wrong, man?
Y'all look so ridiculous.
But yeah, bro, that's how I knew she was the one, bro. Like, she was just amazing. She's amazing, bro.
Nice.
And, another major thing, too, is, like, I know what type of person I am. Like, I'm a really goofy, like, silly type of person. Like, you know, I can take things serious and be serious in moments for sure.
Clumsy,
but it's
yeah,
like,
clumsy.
Clumsy
Clumsy
is
is more
what?
the
And
word.
what?
I'm telling you
And
right
what?
now,
So
you don't leave
anyways,
nothing
Like
around
your
Josh.
glass is a little too close to the edge right
You know what
there,
I'm saying?
and
He
it's
don't
like
think so.
it's concerning
He
to
don't
me.
think so, bro.
So-
You see,
No,
look,
so you're playing with fire.
you're playing with fire because you to be the one to knock over
It's
the
too
glass.
close to
I'm
the
not
edge.
gonna do that. But anyways,
Better.
basically, like I just know my personality, bro. And I was just like, any woman who's in my life who like genuinely like just lets me, I can just be myself and like no strings attached, like not feel like I'm annoying them. Like she's that type of person. So I was just like, yeah, she the one.
That's powerful, man, because you really are annoying.
And what?
For me, and I was kind of gonna share this a little bit again. Watch the video. Me and my wife, we have a podcast already. But how I knew, right? I really, really resonate with what you said, Mike, about your wife and your girlfriend at the time feeling like home. Yeah. Right? Like I was sharing with you guys how she came to my housewarming. I had just bought a crib, right? Like, and then I had, two people that was connected to me move into two of the rooms or whatever, and they were paying rent. And I was like, but like my house that I bought, that I decorated, that I put my all into, that I was paying a mortgage on, never felt like home unless she was there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Like, it got to a point where I was visiting her apartment more than I was at my house.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like you pay a mortgage, bro, like, and you're at this girl's apartment.
You really were there all the time.
I was there all the
All the
time.
time.
I was
Yeah.
there all the time because I didn't realize it at the time. I just thought I was more comfortable there. But the truth of the matter is the reason why I was there is because she felt like home. Mm-hmm. And it was warmer and more pleasant and safer. And I could be my entire self. And I can be comfortable. I can talk dreams. I can talk. I can share my heart, right? And like she knew me, and I knew her, and it was nothing ever felt complete unless she was there.
Yeah.
And unless
That's
she was
a
a
word.
part of it.
That's
Right.
a word.
And
That's a soundbite.
apart from like the gifts and she's extremely thoughtful, and we went viral for her doing things for me when I got a new job or something like that, and then we end up on the Shade Room and Kelly Clarkson and all the things. But all that to everybody else is like, oh my gosh, like that's a wife.
Right.
Like, oh my gosh, like that's amazing. She's extremely thoughtful. And it's like, yeah. But like that's not what brought the feeling.
Right.
What brought the feeling is like her listening ear. What brought the feeling is her words of affirmation.
Right.
What brought the feeling is like, yo, like it is like, yo, are you hungry?
Yeah.
Yep.
I can speak to that too, just from being your friend, from being all y'all's friends, that every time I go to y'all's house and none of your wives are there, the house feels empty. It just feels like I'm here hanging out with my friend.
It feel good
I'm
to
just
me.
here hanging out with my brother. But every single time I visit y'all's houses and your wives are there, there's a different level of comfort.
Right.
I mean, when I'm at your crib and Zach ain't there, we just chilling. But when I'm at your crib and we're all at your crib and Zach is there, it's like we're fed.
Yeah.
That is true.
It's like she brings food. And
Yeah.
it's not even planned. It's just like we'll be outside and she'll just come outside like, hey,
Just
I thought
serve.
you guys might be hungry.
Yeah.
It's like there's a woman in the house.
Here's some sliders, here's some quesadillas. It's just like, but that and that's how Kiera was for me, right?
Right.
Like there was like me and Kiera were just again boyfriend and girlfriend, and Tyler at the time couldn't cook for nothing. Okay, he couldn't cook worth a damn. Okay, but one time, Kiera would cook all the time. And Tyler was talking about like how he wanted to do kind of like meal preps. And then he asked Kiera to do meal preps. Like, just like, can he help him? She help him out. She did a whole, this is at the time, Tyler was not married at the time, just so y'all know. Tyler won't marry at the time.
I wasn't living with Yaz.
He wasn't living with Yaz.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she did this whole thing. Not one of my first dates, because we got been on plenty of dates, but the day I made Kiera my girlfriend in my mind is the day we went to the fair. It was after we went, my housewarming, we had went to the North Carolina State Fair, and me and her, I asked her to go, but Daniel, who's not on here, but love you, Dan. Shout out to Dan, was a tag along. And we had the best time. She didn't make Daniel feel like a third wheel. She had included him in conversation. We had a blast. And she realized how important community was to me. Wow. How important my brothers were to me.
Wow.
And she always, every time they came in our space, made them feel welcome.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that was huge for me. And same thing with Zach, same thing with Gaz, same thing with, it's just like, that to me was like, okay.
Yeah.
Right? Like, not only do I have a home for you, but the people I love have a home in you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
People I love feel at home when they're in our home.
Right.
That's it.
That's really what's key.
Dude, Marseille, who's on the other side of this dag.
Shout out Marseille.
Shout out to Marseille.
Shout out Marseille.
Our lead producer, okay? He was here for a couple weeks, and Marseille was like our little brother. He was our brother, right? Cooked for him, made sure he was good, because she whose family to me is family to her.
Yeah.
And that was powerful for me and important for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For me.
even with so me and Kiera have like a lot of similarities. I feel like
Absolutely.
but seeing how she just, knowing who you're a polar opposite. Like you are a extroverted, community oriented person, right? I mean, in previous episodes, right? I mean, we discussed how we all are, but seeing how she just not like, this is my man, like this is, like how she is open to having your community around us. I mean, I think that, like to your point, like just speaks about how much a wife loves her husband, bro. It's just like you're willing to change and work who you are because that's what your spouse wants.
Right.
Like seeing your spouse really change and work for you, that's something for me personally. I'm
That's
just
a
like,
fact.
damn, like thank you. Like that's what makes me thankful, and it just makes me want to be better for you.
What's really powerful about that, Mike, to your point, is although our spouses and even us as men change and develop over time, we still are who we are.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
My wife is just as extroverted yesterday as she is today.
Yeah, that's
okay.
good, exactly, yeah.
She is. However, she does make exceptions and compromises in order to bring more people into the space.
Yeah.
And so there are compromises that are made on both the man and the woman.
Right.
But she is who she is.
Right. Yeah.
I think sometimes people go into marriages expecting their spouse to change significantly who they are to fit who they are.
Yeah.
And I think what worked for me, and I know because I know y'all, and y'all can talk about this, you know, as you share, is like, yo, as much as my wife changed in terms of allowing different, like more people into her space and more people into her life, yo, she's the same person.
Yeah.
And the same person I dated is the same person I'm married to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't go into my marriage thinking she was about to be different.
Right.
I was very happy with the person I was then. Now, has she grown? Yes. Has she matured? Absolutely. She's a mom now.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm a dad now. Is she more of a mom than she was when I was dating her? Absolutely.
Yeah.
She wasn't a mom then. She didn't have no kids.
Right.
She couldn't conceptualize what that kind of love is.
Yeah.
She's more of that now. But she's still the same person.
Yeah.
And I think too many people go into a marriage hoping a person is going to change dramatically. And the truth of the matter is, they're the same person.
I was victim of that. I even think we had a conversation. It wasn't like no deep conversation, but I think you pointed that out to me one time, bro. Like that's why I forget when and how long ago it was, but bro, I wanted my wife to really like I kind of fell victim to that. But I had, it had to take communication. It had to take, venting sessions, talking to other it had to take a lot for my mind to change on that. But I mean, over time, once you realize, damn, like, all right, I can't expect her to not be who she is anymore. You have to learn to grow and adapt and figure things out.
Right.
Which now, which is actually kind of crazy. I mean, y'all know, like, Zach used to love going to dinner, brunch, and all this. She can't do half of that stuff no more because she got a kid now.
Yeah.
So I know, like, she still does it, but also too, like, life happened, right? And now her mindset is shifting to like, I guess the thing with me is what's most important in my life is family.
Yeah.
Family. Like it's
everything.
knowing your family, especially like with me, it's just like losing my mom. Not to keep going back, but it's just like
Bro.
it makes you realize
The value of it.
Yeah, the value and how important
Yeah.
things are in life, right?
Right.
Because how
Right.
easily and how young like she was
Right.
taken away.
Yeah.
So it's just like with me, I'm like, all right, family. Like I know we got to work hard at our jobs and do stuff, but I just felt like I wanted Zach to have the same love of like being at home and doing nothing and being with me as I did.
Right.
Yeah.
And like that joint was kind of like unrealistic. I'm gonna be honest,
Yeah.
it
Facts.
was.
Facts.
But now that now that we have a kid, it's like she like all right, like she likes hanging out, like doing stuff together as a family is what makes her full now.
Right.
So
Right.
it's just kind of crazy how that came around. But
You
yeah.
know, it's real.
Yeah.
It's the temptation for you wanting it's a temptation of having your spouse be just like you.
Yeah.
You
Facts.
want them to be just
Facts.
like you.
Yeah.
You want them to think like you
Facts.
think. You want them to do how you do. You want them to value the things you value as much as you value them.
Right. Yeah.
And it's the
Right.
truth of the matter is like, yeah, no, like the reason why you actually fell in love with her is because she showed you things you've never seen.
Oh my God.
And,
Yeah.
and exposed you to things you've never experienced.
Facts.
And the thing that you end up falling in love with the most in the beginning is the thing you end up despising in the end.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah.
We have to remind ourselves why we chose who we chose.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah, I think for me, I grew up in a household where I would witness, to be vulnerable, I would witness my father not really take my mother's perspectives seriously. So he never really listened to her advice or what she thought.
Yep.
And so, for me, going off of what you said about, having your spouse change, I think that a lot of people think about it from a perspective where the word change is like, I think change is the wrong word. I think grow is the right word. I think it's very important who you pick when you marry, because the person that you marry is the person you're with for the rest of your life. And that person is going to be one of the most constant voices in your life.
Yeah.
And so that person should help you grow.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people who get married and they're so focused on that word change that they're not willing to change. And really it's that your spouse is trying to help you grow and you don't want to because the word change makes you think that it's a negative thing and you're already the best version of yourself.
Yeah.
So you don't have to grow. So I'm going to be me. I'm not changing for nobody. They got to love me for who I am. And part of that is true.
Facts.
But part of it is also you are not the best version of yourself right now.
At all.
And the person that you're married to, their job is to help you grow into the best person that you can possibly be. And so for me, Yasmina has been such a blessing because, to be quite frank, there is a lot about me that does not care about how you feel.
You're an a-hole.
Oh my gosh.
I can be an asshole because
Can be.
the truth is the truth, and I don't care about how you feel if I think you're an idiot. And so Yasmina has really helped. But here's the thing. Yasmina's the polar opposite.
Yeah, she's sweet.
She is the sweetest.
Freaking sweetheart.
She cares about how you feel.
Yeah.
And so there has been a lot of conversations that I've had with her where she's been like, yeah, you can't say that. You can't talk to people like that. Or you can't post that. And because she's my wife and I love her and I trust her and I actually like her a lot, I care about her perspective.
Emphasis on like.
Yeah. I need to listen to her. And so I do. And it actually has been such a huge blessing because she has brought another perspective to my life that I would have not had without her.
Right.
And she's helped me grow.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know her perspective on the things that you didn't post because of what she didn't like, based on what you post now.
Me and my wife have a lot of agreement on things. It's just the way that things are communicated. Obviously, need to be communicated. Need to be communicated in a way that they'll be received.
If y'all follow Tyler Kim on Instagram, they get a little crazy on them stories. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. But like, just to piggyback off of like what you said and like the temptation to want your spouse to be like you. It's just like you're so used to, especially, you know, somebody like myself. It's like I'm so used to my space. You know what I mean? Like even like growing out of that, it's like, you know, like I still love my space, of course, but to a certain extent, at the end of the day, like when you want to include other people in your life, at the end of the day, you have to surrender a little bit of your space to them,
right?
You know, and surrender, you know, some of your thoughts to like some things that will help y'all coexist better together, right? And so it's like, you know, I just remember times like, and that's why marriage is like difficult, you know, at times, you know, marriage ain't easy by any stretch of the imagination, you know what I mean? But it's like. You know, one thing I keep in mind is like anything worth having, of course, you know, you got to work for it. You know what I mean? So like if marriage was really, really easy, like I kind of will almost be like, I mean, this is cool, but if we ain't got no type of turbulence, like it's just interesting. But, you know, for me, it's like at the end of the day, knowing that Bree was willing to adjust and like we were willing to have conversations and like we even like went to marriage counseling and like talked through some things like where we just saw things completely different. And it's like, it's funny how she can still have a different perspective than I do. But like at the end of the day, it's agreement that matters at the end of it, right? It's like, yo, can we agree? Like, even if you feel this way, like, can we look at what makes most sense for both of us and agree at the end of the day? Right. And I think that's been a powerful thing that we've been able to come to in our marriage, especially in recent time. It's like, you know, even like having our son, like that's something we have to agree on. You know what I mean? Like our kid, we have to agree on how we're going to raise him, the certain things that we're going to allow him to do or not do, right? That's helped us come together, like, and just finding things to like really agree on, to where, you know, the little things in life don't just make us bump heads, because that's one thing marriage does. Again, it's like everything you don't like is just amplified. It's amplified, and it can be irrational. Like the moment I talk to y'all be like, Josh, relax. But it's like me, I'm like, bro, no, like this got on my nerves, you know what I mean? And it's like vice versa. It's like y'all might say something that I'm like, that don't really sound that deep to me, but that's how you feel about it. You know what I mean? And it's like it's a small thing that just gets amplified because that's how marriage is. Because it's like, yo, I'm with this person for the rest of my life. So she doing that, it's like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, she gonna keep getting on my nerves for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, the truth of the matter is your spouse is gonna get on your nerves, but
the last one too.
But at the end of the day, it's like holding on to the thing, like you said, it's like the thing that I like I got with you for. Holding on to the reason that like, yo, I even made you my wife. Like it's like, yo, that outweighs all of that when you really
Right.
like just shift your perspective.
Which leads me to the question, is marriage hard? But if you want to know the answer to that question, you are going to have to tune in next week to the Speakeasy. Listen, we want you to like, subscribe, comment. If you love what you heard, if you learned something, listen, join our community. Follow us on Instagram. Join the Speakeasy is our Instagram. You can like, subscribe, again, comment. We love y'all. Listen, we're building community here. If you are a brother, if you are, and you want community, this is the place for you. Hey, if you're a sister, follow us. Join the community.
Facts.
We love y'all.
Yeah.
We thank you. See you next week on the Speakeasy.
Pull up,
Let's
pull up,
go.